Good evening. Welcome to the Calvert County Planning Commission regular meeting of Thursday, February 27th, 2025. I'm going to take attendance to establish the quorum. Commissioner Freeland,
Here.
Commissioner Gadway,
Present.
Commissioner Holler,
Here.
Commissioner Kernan,
Here.
Commissioner McQueen,
Here.
and Commissioner Weems.
Here.
We have everybody in attendance, so we have a quorum. We are now called to order. If you'd all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have the agenda in front of us. If somebody would be interested to make the motion, I'd be willing to accept to move that executive session down to, maybe down around 11D, so that some of these folks could go out. If we put that at the end, I think some people could leave. They wouldn't have to stay so long.
I'd make that motion to amend the agenda to move executive session to last item before adjournment.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. We also have the action on the proposed summary of actions for January 15th.
I move that we approve and adopt the summary of actions for the January 15th, 2025 regular meeting.
Thank you, sir. And a second?
Second.
And we have a second from Commissioner Kernan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. Now we have, where are we? Oh, recognition of persons attending the meeting. I'm going to turn that over to our brand new.
Good
Away we
morning, good
go.
afternoon, everyone. My name is Amalia Pleektam. I'm the Acting Planning Commission Administrator from Planning and Zoning. Recognition of persons attending the meeting from Planning and Zoning, we have Jason Brinkley, Director, Tamara Blake Wallace, Acting Deputy Director of Planning, Tay Harris, Long Range Planner, Jessica Gattano, Planner 3, Kat Lockwood, Planner 2. Jay Cousineau is joining us virtually, Planner 3. Becky Parkinson, Planning Commission Clerk. Katie Strauss, Permit Tech 1. From Public Works, we have J.R. Cosgrove, Director of Public Works. James Ritter, Deputy Director. From Parks and Recreation, we have Bob Branham, Director. Stephanie Sperling, Park Planner. And from County Attorney's Office, we have John Mattingly, Legal Counsel for the Planning Commission. Moving on to item 7, major subdivisions for final review and action, we have none. Applications for site plan review and action, we have none. Major subdivision applications for preliminary review and action, we have none. That will bring us to the presentation portion of the evening. First, we have Long Range Planning, Master Plan of Town Centers, presented by Tay Harris, Long Range Planner.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening, Kay. I hope that our switching around didn't throw you off any.
I hope so as well. All right, so I'm here to present to you the concept of Master Plan of Town Centers. On October 16th, 2019, the Planning Commission endorsed a 3-phase process to update the county's town center master plans. The process is identifying issues, developing the plan, and adopting the plan. The Commission also directed staff to begin the process of updating the Prince Frederick Town Center Master Plan. And on February 17th, 2021, the Planning Commission further directed staff to initiate the Dunkirk Town Center Master Plan. Since then, significant progress has been made towards updating these plans, but several factors have delayed their completion, including the proposed comprehensive plan amendments affecting the updates, the conversion of the updates to the flipbook format, and several staffing transitions. The Department of Planning and Zoning proposes a new approach to streamline the Town Center Master Plan update process. Rather than preparing individual updates for each town center master plan, the department recommends consolidating them into a single document, the master plan of town centers, eliminating redundancy across the individual updates. Chapter 1 would include Calvert County Comprehensive Visions and Goals, and background information pertaining to all town center master plan updates. Subsequent chapters would be dedicated to the individual town centers, detailing each town center's specific updates. The three-phase process would remain in effect. The proposed structure for the master plan of town centers is presented on this slide, and I'm gonna go into further detail of the structure of each chapter on the following 2 slides. The proposed structure for Chapter 1, Town Centers, can basically be broken out into 2 groups. Bullets 1 through 6, which include the purpose of town center master plans through public partnerships, input, and outreach strategy, would include the purpose of the town center master plans, the town center designations, as well as the town center master plan's relationship to and consistency with the comprehensive plan goals and visions. In addition, it would include the 3-phase update process and the public participation process. The remaining 8 bullets, land use through government and community facilities, would include the applicable Calvert County comprehensive goals and visions, as well as the applicable background information that pertains to all town center master plans. Does anyone have any questions yet? Okay, just checking.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, and then the proposed structure for the Town Center Master Plan chapter, again, it would pertain to each Town Center Master Plan, individual Town Center Town Center, and it would include each Town Center's specific updates. And it's according to these bulleted items on this slide. That makes sense. Okay, and then we're gonna back up a little bit because we just talked about concepts, but the next 2 slides are gonna discuss the proposed timeline and process for adopting the current town center master plans that are in process, as well as the Chapter 1, the Town Centers chapter. So the proposed timeline for adopting the Chapter 1 Town Centers and the Chapter 2 Prince Frederick Town Center Master Plan would involve staff reviewing the draft chapters, and I apologize, the slide says plan, but it's chapters, with the Planning Commission in March. Then staff would seek guidance from the Planning Commission on whether to hold a public hearing in April. If the Planning Commission directs staff to do so, the Planning Commission public hearing would be held in May, followed by the Board of County Commissioners public hearing in June. So the proposed process for adopting Chapter 3 Dunkirk Town Center Master Plan update would involve staff reviewing the draft chapter and seeking guidance from the Planning Commission on next steps, which could be and ideally be initiating the 60-day comment period. If the Planning Commission directs staff to do so, once the 60-day comment period ends, staff would present public comments to the Planning Commission for incorporation into the draft plan. Staff would then come back to the incorporate the comments, and then come back to the Planning Commission and review the draft plan and seek guidance on whether to hold a public hearing. If the Planning Commission directs staff to do so, the Planning Commission public hearing would be held, followed by the Board of County Commissioners public hearing. Okay, now we're gonna go into the process of adopting each, the remaining Town Center Master Plan chapters, so that not Prince Frederick or Dunkirk, but the ones that have yet to be initiated. And rather than going through this punch list, which could be rather tedious, I'm willing to do that if you want me to, but if not, I'd like to ask you if you have any questions or comments about the bulleted items on the slide.
Gentlemen, questions, comments?
I appreciate the presentation given to us ahead of time. I've got no questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Jay.
Okay, in addition to updating the town center master plans, we would like to roll in updating the town center zoning ordinances. So, as the town center chapters are being adopted, the corresponding town center zoning ordinance would be updated accordingly to assure alignment. P&Z recommends prioritizing updates and proposes that the oldest town center master plans be addressed first, because it has been 40 years since some of these town center master plans have been updated.
Which ones were the oldest?
Actually, well, according to this list on the next slide, if you take out Prince Frederick and Dunkirk, Owings would be the oldest, then Huntingtown, Lusby, Solomons, and St. Leonard.
Thank you.
Sure. So on this slide, this is the prioritization of updating the town center master plans and zoning ordinances. Does anyone have any questions at this point? All right, so each town center master plan update, currently not in progress, would take about 14 months to adopt. Each town center master update would be initiated during the 60-day comment period of the town center master plan currently in progress. And the town center zoning ordinance updates proposed to begin in about 2 months before the anticipated approval of the corresponding town center master plan. So staff recommends that the Planning Commission endorse the proposed format for the master plan of town centers to streamline updates, including the process for updating all town center master plans and zoning ordinances to ensure the alignment while prioritizing the oldest plans first. The next steps would include, at the March Planning Commission meeting, staff would present the draft Chapter 1 Town Centers and Chapter 2 Prince Frederick Town Center Master Plan for the Planning Commission to review. At the April Planning Commission meeting, staff would seek guidance on whether to hold a public hearing in May to consider adoption of the draft Chapter 1 Town Centers and the draft Chapter 2 Prince Frederick Town Center Master Plan.
I'm still with you, I think.
I'm glad, because I was wondering. It's a lot of information.
It is a lot of information, but it's a good plan, I think.
Yes, yeah.
I do like the concept of how you guys are going to be updating and the different timelines and everything else. And if there's no other questions, I'd like to make a motion.
I think we could accept the motions. Did anybody have questions or comments before? Away you go, Commissioner.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move that we adopt the staff's proposal to update and consolidate the town center master plan into one document. And I would also move that we approve the staff's proposed timeline for town center master plan updates.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Everybody votes for it. That passes. All right, wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. We appreciate all your help.
All right, moving on to Lusby Architectural Review Committee, case number 2024-02, Lusby AutoZone, presented by Jessica Gattano, Planner 3. And
Good
just
evening.
a friendly reminder of everyone to please speak into the microphones. Good evening, Planning Commissioners. Jessica Gattano, Planner 3 with the Department of Planning and Zoning. This evening, I'm presenting the Lusby Architectural Review, or LARC, case number 2024-02 for the Lusby AutoZone. A pre-concept plan for the Lusby AutoZone was accepted by the Technical Evaluation Group on June 26, 2024. The proposed project is to construct a new building in the Lusby Commons Shopping Center on a pad-ready site near the northeast corner of the intersection of H.G. Truman Road. For context, the Lusby Common Shopping Center is where the Giant Anchor store is located. The address identified for the new construction is 11749 H.G. Truman Road, tax map 42, parcel 111 in Lusby, Maryland, which is located in the neighborhood commercial sub-area of the Lusby Town Center. Most of the overall site improvement requirements were satisfied during the original development of the Lusby Common Shopping Center under the original site plan. The Lusby AutoZone is currently being reviewed as a Category 2 site plan. So on your screen here, you are seeing a concept site plan supplied by the applicant. An architectural review application was received on June 10th, 2024 for all exterior design features for the proposed AutoZone store. The applicant proposes a front building facade of 100 feet in length. The proposed facade will be broken up into small visual components through building profile insets, varying building materials, awnings, and frosted commercial storefront windows. The Lusby Town Center zoning ordinance limits the building facade length to 50 feet unless the Planning Commission grants approval for an extension of up to 150 feet, provided that 4 conditions are met. And those 4 conditions, first, the receipt of a recommendation from the Architectural Review Committee regarding the extension. However, the Lusby Architectural Review Committee lacked sufficient active members to achieve a quorum. Therefore, the project was reviewed administratively by staff. The second condition is that there is a 70% ground floor activation requirement. The proposed front elevation includes awnings, masonry features, display windows and doors along 76% of the horizontal length. And the last 2 conditions require sidewalks and internal pedestrian walkways. The proposal shows an 8-foot wide sidewalk along the entire front building facade, and the sidewalk ties into the existing shopping center pedestrian network. So here you can view additional elevations provided by the applicant, showing the sides and rear elevations of the proposed AutoZone store. The architectural review application and supplemental documents have been reviewed for compliance with Article 6, which is the architectural requirements and guidelines of the Lusby Town Center Master Plan and Zoning Ordinance. Staff finds the proposal consistent with the Lusby Town Center design guidelines with the exception of the facade length requirement. So staff does recommend the approval of the building facade up to 100 feet in length based on the design needs of Lusby AutoZone. So we are requesting that the Planning Commission consider one of the following options: that you approve the facade length and application as recommended by staff, or you may approve the facade length and application with modifications or conditions. You may defer or just deny the facade length extension and application, and the applicant will need to resubmit. And at this time, I will welcome any questions or comments.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, we have questions, comments? In that case, does anyone have a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I move to approve the application as recommended by staff.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there any against? Passes 7-0. Thank you so much for your help.
Thank you.
Jessica, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jess. Next, we have the Halloween Point Park Master Plan update presented by our very own park planner, Stephanie Sperling.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Would you like me to read the memo to start with, or should I start with my presentation?
You go straight to the presentation. Is that all right, gentlemen?
Please.
That'd
Yes.
Okay.
that'd be great. Thank you so much.
How do I go forward?
The arrows?
Down.
I can't help, I've never sat there.
But now I'm going through it all.
I haven't worked my way up to a clicker yet.
Did it? Okay. We're here talking about the update to the Halloween Point Park Master Plan. The park is located on Halloween Point Road, 231, in the central western part of the county. In the summer of 2023, Calvert County contracted with Murphy and Dittenhofer to update the master plan. We then solicited input from residents via a survey in the fall of 2023, and we had more than 2,000 people who responded to that survey. Based on the results of the survey, we completed the draft plan in September of 2024, and then we presented this in work sessions to the Planning Commission and the BOCC in October of 2024, and no public comment was received at that time. And just to remind you, the existing amenities at Halloween Point Park include multi-use fields, soccer fields, a playground, pickleball courts. We have a basketball court. We also have a multi-use tennis and pickleball facility, along with pavilion, restrooms, and a maintenance building. And it is worth pointing out again that there is a section of the park in the southwestern portion that is leased by the BOCC. It is privately owned, and it is not part of this master plan update. So the proposed improvements to the park based on that are listed in the draft master plan include updating Bermuda grass fields, also adding a synthetic turf field in the northwestern section of the park, areas for food trucks, a paved walking path that circles the entire park, and in addition to a natural walking path in the, I guess that's the southeastern portion of the park. Improve the infields on all of our baseball fields and add dugouts. Add a new pavilion area, sort of close in the northwestern portion of the park, along with a tot lot over there. And ideally, we would also love to put in an in-ground skate park and expand the basketball court. So those are the proposed improvements. And so the staff recommendation, our recommendations are for you to review the draft proposed plan and then provide directions. And your options include direct staff to send the plan to agencies for review, schedule a public hearing for May 21st, 2025, and notify the agencies and adjoining jurisdictions at least 60 days in advance of the public hearing. Choice B, direct staff to make changes to the plan and proceed with item A. Or choice C, direct staff to make changes and return to the Planning Commission for its review.
Thank you so much. Gentlemen, comments? Commissioner Gadway, you look ready.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being prepared.
right.
You're my favorite. So,
The leased land, just for clarification for our knowledge and the public's knowledge, the leased land does not have any publicly accessible buildings on it, correct?
That's correct.
It's pretty much just all parking lots and or a couple of additional fields.
Athletic fields, yes,
Yep.
that's correct.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that people weren't thinking we were ignoring that for a reason. So, thank you.
any other comments, questions? Would anybody be interested in making a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Commissioner?
I move that we direct staff to send the plan to agencies for review, schedule a public hearing for May 21, 2025, and notify the agencies and adjoining jurisdictions at least 60 days in advance of the public hearing.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second?
Second, I'd like discussion.
Oh, certainly, sir.
I would just like to ask, when we ask for agency comments, I really like to see a lot of agencies comment on it, not just one or two or three. So hopefully when the agency comments come back, we'll get a good variety
Agreed.
from a lot of agencies. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments or discussions? Well, we have a motion and a second, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Stephanie. Next, we have Department of Public Works Text Amendment Case 2501, amendments to the Calvert County Water and Sewerage Comprehensive Plan related to county-owned facilities, presented by James Ritter, Deputy Director of Enterprise Funds.
Evening.
Evening, sir.
So the Department of Public Works is proposing a text amendment to the Water and Sewer Comprehensive Plan to require that all county-owned facilities located within 300 feet of public water and sewer lines connect to the system. The amendment ensures that county facilities utilize existing infrastructure to promote efficiency, environmental sustainability, and cost-effective service delivery. Currently, the category determines the only requirement for county-owned facilities to connect to public water and sewer when lines are available nearby. This can result in inefficient resource utilization, continued reliance on well and septic systems, and potential environmental concerns. By mandating connection to available public water and sewer services within 300 feet, the county can improve public health and environmental protection by reducing reliance on septic systems and private wells, enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of public water and sewer infrastructure, and ensure compliance with long-term county planning goals for sustainable development. This amendment aligns with best practices for municipal utility management and supports the county's broader objectives of responsible growth and infrastructure use. So in conclusion, we're asking the commission to review the draft proposed amendment, and secondly, provide direction to staff to move forward with one of the following options. A, direct staff to send the amendment to agencies for review, schedule a public hearing for May 21, 2025, and notify the agencies and adjoining jurisdictions at least 60 days in advance of the public hearing. B, direct staff to make changes to the amendment and proceed with item A above. Or C, direct staff to make changes and return to the planning commissions for its review. If y'all have any questions?
I do.
Yes, sir.
How many properties are we referring to? Is there a lot of facilities that aren't hooked up?
No, sir. It's a small amount. There's some future projects that may be coming that would have to connect. This will allow us to connect those facilities independent of what current map category they may be in.
Okay. And we do have capacity to handle this and future growth?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Thank you. Gentlemen, questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chair. James, what facilities would currently be affected that are existing today?
None currently.
And would facilities that had non-potable irrigation wells be required to close those and use public water?
No, we would not direct for drinking water to be used for irrigation. That would not be a goal. That would be very inefficient.
So irrigation wells would remain
Yes,
under
sir.
the control of the facility?
Yes, sir.
Very good question.
Is that spelled out?
Best answer.
Yes.
Is that spelled out in writing in this?
Not currently, no.
Could we add it?
We can.
Yes, we can.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments or questions, suggestions? Would anybody be willing to make a motion?
Yeah. Right.
I'd like to make a motion, Chairman.
Certainly, sir.
I'd like to direct staff to send the amendment to agencies for review once the suggested amendment is added to require the verbiage of this would not affect agricultural use wells for irrigation. And then schedule a public hearing for May 21st, 2025, and notify the agencies and adjoining jurisdictions at least 60 days in advance of the public hearing.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second?
We have a second.
We have a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 7-0. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James. 2 items of interest, site plan and subdivision lists. There are no subdivisions. We have 6 site plans listed on the list for your interest. No action needed.
We all set on that, gentlemen? Public comment?
I just have one question.
Mr. Berry, we would never mind you speaking. I assure you, sir.
David Beery, Breezy Point, just speaking for myself.
If you could, thanks.
The idea of consolidating all the town master plans into a single document sounds like a great idea. What I did not see was any provision for a timeline for public comment on chapter 1 that basically ties all those plans together as a prelude. So clarification, will there be time for public comment before the planning commission takes action?
Tay, please.
Tay Harris, Long Range Planner from the Department of Planning and Zoning. Chapter 1 will be included in the public hearing when the Prince Frederick Town Center Master Plan chapter is brought to public hearing. But the intent also is that Chapter 1 applies to all Town Center Master Plans. So as each Town Center Master Plan is updated, it might call for an amendment to Chapter 1, and that also will be included in the public hearing, the corresponding chapter and any amendments that happen. So, does that answer your question?
No, in my view, the specific wording that is going to be put in chapter 1 could potentially be of great public interest. And I think the public should have a chance to review that language and make sure there aren't any surprises or significant issues before the planning commission takes action.
Yes, the planning commission will present it chapter 1 and chapter 2 at the same time. And the public will have the opportunity during the public hearing to comment on it. Let me just add too is that chapter 1 information, most of that information is what you will find in the the draft Prince Frederick Town Center Master Plan. So the public has already seen it. It's really been just rearranged because it's background information. It pertains to consistency with the Calvert County Comprehensive Plan. And we will offer a track changes version to the public so that they can see the changes. But there's not a lot of changes and it's not substantive.
Okay, so I guess what I'm hearing is that the first opportunity that the public will have to provide comments to the planning commission on chapter 1 is on the date of the hearing.
Yes, but most of what is in chapter 1 has already been vetted through the 60-day comment period and public, with the draft Prince Frederick Town Center Master Plan. So what I'm saying is most of that information comes from the Prince Frederick Town Center Master Plan. So you've already commented on it, actually.
Understood.
Okay.
I'm always concerned about specific wordings in documents that the public hasn't seen. So I'll just offer that to the planning commission for consideration.
Thank you, David.
Thank you so much, sir.
Is there anyone else in the room that would like to speak? We're also entertaining comments from attendees online or calling in by phone. You may call 301-715-8592. Again, that's 301-715-8592. Meeting ID is 858-5579-4151. No hands are raised online or calls. Oh, we do have one speaker. Sean McGuire, would you like to speak? Sean, if you would unmute.
Yeah, hi, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome.
Clearly, thank you, sir.
Okay, great. Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Sean McGuire. I live at 240 Sharon Drive in Lusby. Here to speak tonight on behalf of Stave Lusby Incorporated. not so much to address the commissioners, but to inform the folks in the room and anyone listening in. Save Lusby Incorporated is a nonprofit, completely volunteer 501c, excuse me, 501c3 incorporated coalition of Lusby residents. Our mission is to provide education and advocacy to the town of Lusby and all town residents on traffic development and irresponsible growth that will cause impacts to our infrastructure and environment. In particular, the proposed Lusby Village project. My understanding that the members of the Planning and Zoning Commission were advised by legal counsel to not discuss any details of the Lusby Village project. So I wanted to take a few minutes to inform the public tonight a little bit about what's going on with it. For those who are not familiar, the Lusby Village project is a proposed development of a 200-plus unit, 30-plus acre apartment complex right in the middle of Lusby. On July 9, 2024, a meeting was called together in Lusby by a couple of our county commissioners to raise community awareness of the proposed project as it had been quietly shuffled along up to that point. The people of Lusby came out in droves that evening to express their opposition of the project with factual data as to why a gigantic apartment complex would not be benefiting Lusby. A little over a month later, in a complete disregard for the well-being of the existing citizens and taxpayers of Lusby, Calvert Planning and Zoning voted 4-3 to approve the project, ignoring public outcry and inviting increased crime, congestion, and pollution into our community and its already strained infrastructure, resources, and very fragile environment. We at Save Lusby rapidly formed and filed a petition for appeal of Planning and Zoning's decision, despite being told there was nothing that could be done about it. This has halted the forward movement of the project until all the legalese of it can be worked out. Shortly after that, a dismissal of our appeal was filed under false grounds. Just want to let everybody know that that petition for dismissal has recently been denied in court. And so Save Lusby Incorporated's petition for appeal of Planning and Zoning's decision is moving forward. I wanted to raise public's awareness to this, that this evening that the lawsuit is moving forward full force, and that we do have the opportunity to stop the egregious overdevelopment of the town of Lusby. I appreciate everyone's time. We are aggressively raising funds for the lawsuit. If you want to say no to the members of the Calvert County Planning and Zoning Commission that are making decisions that negatively impact our community, please visit savelusby.com, where you'll find all the information you need to find out how this threat to our town came to fruition and what you can do to help stop the reckless pursuit of revenue and disregard for the citizens' voice. I would like to greatly thank all of the citizens in attendance this evening, whether in person or virtually, for taking the time out of your personal lives to help ensure that the appointed officials on the Planning and Zoning Committee are making decisions that best serve the interests of our small community. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. McGuire. We have one more speaker online. Sarah Weems, if you would like to unmute.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, my name is Sarah Weems. I'm a resident of Lusby, and I just wanted to hop on tonight. I know that it's already been approved, but I just feel like the plan to add the auto zone to the Lusby Town Center doesn't make a whole lot of sense when there's an Advanced Auto Parts right across the street. I'm mostly concerned about the duplication of business when Lusby doesn't have a lot of the facilities that I feel we need. For example, we still don't have a fitness center. If we want to go to a gym or get some sort of physical activity, especially during the winter time, we have to drive across the bridge to St. Mary's or up to Prince Frederick, and I just feel like these projects keep getting pushed through when we're overlooking some necessary projects to move forward. I just feel like, Lusby deserves better, and I just wanted to bring that to your attention tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. No other callers are online or via telephone. Any other speakers in the room? Yes, ma'am.
Hi there, my name is Megan Farringer, and I'm sure you guys probably recognize my name as well, but I am representing myself from Lusby, Maryland, but I also am a part of Save Lusby as well. Just like Sarah had just mentioned on the phone, bringing in an AutoZone, I understand from a business perspective, there is the idea of bringing competition in to help with any kind of pricing. However, speaking to a lot of different people in Lusby, the same question has been, why another auto parts store? Why are we not looking at other unique opportunities to have any buildings put in that pad area? Obviously, it doesn't reduce any sort of cutting down of trees or anything, so obviously putting a business there would be great. But I'd ask for the commissions to think about what kind of unique businesses we could bring to Lusby, especially when they start trying to push projects like, for example, an apartment complex. What kind of unique and opportunities are we going to provide people in the town of Lusby besides just another auto parts store? Looking at potentially, like Sarah has said, potentially a gym or some kind of rec center, maybe even a library that is not being rented out down in Solomon's Island by some chance. Those are kinds of things I would like for our folks here to consider when they're thinking about pushing forward plans and just seeing what each town could use to kind of better their livelihood than just another duplicate business. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other speakers online, via telephone, or in the room? Seeing none, I would like to announce that the next Planning Commission meeting is March 19th. And that's all I have for public comment.
Thank you, ma'am. In that case, it brings us to the previously numbered executive session. If someone could make a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move to recess to executive session pursuant to General Provisions, Article Section 3-3057, to consult with counsel, to obtain legal advice, and 8, to consult with staff, consultants, or other individuals about pending or potential litigation.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second?
Second.
I have a first and a second from Commissioner Freeland. Just give me a second. All those in favor? Aye. Are there any opposed? We're now in executive session. There we go. We are back in session. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much, gentlemen.